I'm Sarah, welcome to 445 Designs. If you're new, this is Tammy. Today, I am going to be working on this piece. It is the dupe piece that Clara over on No Can Do is hosting this challenge, and this is my piece. Here is my inspiration. What we are supposed to do is find a high-end piece that could potentially be out of our budget and try and recreate it within a affordable budget. That is what I'm going to try to do today in this video. So follow along and let's see if I actually achieve it. This piece, the inspiration piece, I love it. It is an entertainment unit, I believe, and the piece I ended up getting for it is more like an office credenza. Now I need this credenza for school supplies and telescopes and all that sort of stuff. So it's has a different function to the one that is in the inspiration, but I love it, right? I like the shimmer. I like that on the front of it, it has okay, I can't. I'm talking to everyone. No one's listening to anything that I'm saying. My favorite things about this inspiration piece is mostly the shimmer and then the different textures and different heights. It's just a couple of mil, but you know, it has that look, that effect. And so I am going to be trying to do that on this piece. All right, guys, let's get into it. Woohoo! Aussie flag. So I'm going to change these from sliding to a hinged door. So I have to buy some hinges. Right here, I'm going to have to take this off. It's stapled in. I have cut out a piece of cardboard. I'm going to use this to my advantage and then this. So I'm not necessarily going to put wood pieces on here or on here. The wood pieces or whatever it is that's stuck to the front of it are all different sizes. So it's not going to matter that everything is not flush. Right, so template. Studying the picture, right? That's of one of the doors. And each of the doors and stuff like that are different. And I'm just going to draw out a pattern similar to that one, I guess. Here we go. It's like a puzzle. Dad always taught me it's good to have a plan, and that's what I did. I made a plan, but he also said that if the plan's not working, chuck the plan out the window. So that's exactly what I did here. Cutting out the cardboard and then cutting out the wood was just proving to be really tedious, and frankly I just decided it was going to be a lot more enjoyable if I just decided to wing it, and it was more enjoyable.
Samuel was continuously spamming different buttons on his phone remote.
That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah. That's something he did before.
Samuel, cut it out.
I knew he was going to do that.
I have 2 weeks to do this. It's getting dark outside. I'm so glad I started now. And I'm going to stop in a second because I know the lighting is not great. On the inspiration piece, how it did overlap, and like not only were the pieces of wood different textures and different sizes, thicknesses, but they also overlapped and stuck up I like that. I'm gonna call it quits there. Fingers crossed I can pull it together. Scuff sanded everything, wiped it down. I'm going to be painting the inside here black like my inspiration, so I'm not going to worry about putting primer in there. I've scuff sanded it. This is for me, so I'm not going to prime it with white primer when I'm painting it black. Because I'm going to be using light colors, right? I'm going to be using white, silver, cream. I need to take most of this dark away, so priming it with shellac, Zinza shellac. Okay, back up. This has got 2 coats of Dixie Belle chalk paint in Caviar. These fronts are going to, I'm hoping, be in sort of like a white cream pearlescent type of shimmer. Okay, this is all experimental, so I'm hoping that it goes well, but we'll see. I'm going to be using Waverly paint. It's not chalk paint, it's acrylic paint. It has a matte chalky finish. I'm going to be using it in white. I'm going to be using it in Plaster for texture. I'm going to be using the lightweight Fast Dry Spackle, Silver Bullet, Moonshine Metallic by Dixie Belle. I'm also going to be using, I think, possibly, Chameleon Wax in Apricot. Right, that about covers everything that I'm going to be using. What I'm after is for the fronts of this to look like the inspiration. It looked very similar to me, like spackling, so I was like, why not? I'm gonna use spackling. That's what these challenges are all about, is about trying something and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. So here we go. I would fill some of the gaps, but I would like some of these other gaps filled before I use texture. So I'm just gonna do that. I don't know how much texture I'm actually going to use, and I'm going to refer back to my inspiration quite a bit. We're going to experiment on this board, you guys. I don't want it really thick, but that's the sort of texture that I want in places. Oh yes, this is going to work. Okay, sorry. Spackle was the right thing. I really like it. I need to look at my inspiration though. Hang on. Oh, I missed a call from my dad. Hold on. I'm gonna stop there and I'm gonna let it dry and step away from it, come back to it, reassess it, whether I like it, compare it to my inspiration photo video thing, and make some changes if I need to. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that. I'll see you in a bit. I have mixed in here a 3 parts white to 1 part Plaster, which is a creamy white. Given it a really good mix, and I'm going to do a base. I'm happy with the texture and how it looks. It's not going to be for everybody, but the aim of this makeover, right, is to recreate my own version of the high-end piece that no way in God's green earth would Phil let me spend $3,500 on a credenza. But anyway, going to put a base coat down before we start getting to the shimmer and shine. Using my vintage tonality brush, and I'm just getting it in there, getting it on there, getting it all covered. Really happy with that. It's probably going to need a second coat of white though, because it's white. I'm really just flying by the seat of my pants here. I searched and searched Pinterest and YouTube, and I found metallic finishes and pearlescent finishes, and that's sort of what the finish is, but it's more textured as well. And I did find a couple of videos, not necessarily furniture, but oh, I got black on me. Somebody painting a wall. And I know how to do that plastered finish. That was all the rage when Phil and I were first married. I painted our whole bathroom that way. I'm gonna lay down a dry brushing of black in some places, because if you notice, like here and sort of a little bit here up, it's like dark shadings, and so we're just throwing it all at this one, and I'm just gonna do it all in layers. Let me explain what I did to this, right? Painted it with 2 coats of the Waverly mix. Then I put the Silver Bullet Moonshine metallics over it. Then I panicked and I put another coat of I dry brushed it. Okay, I like that much better. It's not all in my face metallic. The white tones it down. Panicked some more, went on to my Instagram crew, thank you guys, which most are participating in this challenge. And I went back over it again with my really big brush, Klingon brush, with the metallics in one direction. It's literally entitled a challenge. It's meant to be challenging, and it is hitting all those boxes for me today. 100% challenging. But all right, I'm gonna keep going. You guys, this is my last ditch effort before I just paint the whole thing black. Right, so I have liquid patina by DIY, but this is in gold, so again, this could go pear-shaped. So liquid patina is basically like a top coat with gold sparkle, and I'm just blending it. What I've done on this piece now is created depth, right? I panicked and yeah, was worried that I have completely wrecked it, but it's turned out okay. It's growing on me. Barbara White, thank you so much. You are amazing. I got the black milk paint. Have wanted to try milk paint and I'm excited. What girl doesn't need a good brush soap And thank you so much, Barbara. I am so grateful. I appreciate you and this gift that you've given me. Thank you. Wow, he's getting a shirt for tomorrow.
What's tomorrow? I know it's Saturday.
No, Sunday. He's got a gig. I kid you not, this video was huge. Massive. Massive mountains at every turn. Oi. Okay. Going to start by being vulnerable. Have those little thoughts dancing around in my head that there are 10,000 other people out there that can do this better than me. I have learnt so much in the last couple of weeks. But the lessons that I've learned were really concreted by Sunday. What happened on Sunday?
She came from a tough upbringing. You know, her home life wasn't great, big family. And this is a song about what happens when one little deed gets done to somebody in that kind of position, and the ripple effects. Daddy came tumbling home drunk.
My husband is a musician and songwriter. He is hugely talented and gifted, and I could not be a more proud wife. He is putting himself out there in the music world, right? He submitted his song to Tennessee Songwriters Week. It got accepted. He went on to the first round. He won his first round. On Sunday night, we went into Franklin, and 13 other people who won their rounds were there as well. And they had to perform in front of judges. Phil did amazing. I was so excited and so proud of him. Getting up on stage is not an easy thing for him to do. It's not. And his fears of being up on stage did not stop him. He went for it, and I was so proud of him. He did not win. Another guy won, but the entries that were there were amazing, and Phil had a place, right? He had a place there. He succeeded because he didn't let fear stop him or discount him from putting himself out there and trying something that is not easy for him to do. That was my aha moment, right? With this piece coming to an end and showing you guys. Thank you so much, Clara, for hosting this challenge. The playlist, guys, will be below. Go check out the other very talented artists that have put their entries out there for everyone to see. This piece is not perfect. Gave it a go. I didn't give up. Did I learn things? Yes, I did. Absolutely, 100%, hands down, with regards to my craft. And I also learnt a lot about me as a person, as Sarah. And as I put myself out there and you see my mistakes and my challenges and my successes, maybe you're encouraged too. So the breakdown of the budget, inspiration piece was $3,500-ish. I did not spend that on this piece. I ended up finding this piece on Facebook Marketplace. I took the guy down to $75 and my son and I drove an hour and a half to go pick it up. So $75 for the piece. I spent $24 on the paint, the white paint. The metallic was $27. The spackle was $17. The caulk was $3. And the wood pieces, I got all the wood for this. I used some scrap that I already had, but I bought the rest of it from the craft section, the wood craft section from Hobby Lobby, and I ended up spending $57 on that. I bought a plastic spackle, which was $2, and I used about $5-ish of top coat and then the black paint on the inside because I already owned those. Now I already owned the hardware as well. I know the inspiration piece didn't have hardware, but I need hardware on this piece. I've got to be able to open the doors, and on the inspiration it had carved cutouts. So this hardware I had purchased, I had left over from another piece. So I don't know if I include it or not, but even if I do include it, it's going to be nowhere near $3,500. The hardware for a 10 pack was $26 from Amazon. I will list it all below and I will link it all below. So the total, the grand total for all of that is, and I'll add it all up and I'll put it right here. Magic of editing. I hope you enjoyed this massive journey for me, right? It was a massive journey. And while there are things on this piece that I definitely would do differently, I still hope that you got enjoyment out of watching the highs and the lows of this challenge. And I hope to see you guys on next week's piece. Bye.